All right. We're live apparently for 27 seconds, and I just clicked the button. So if there's been delay, folks, sorry about that. But it has been a minute. I haven't done a podcast episode in a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It was kind of on purpose. Need to just take a break, get some things lined up because eventually you hit the bottom of the list. And I kind of did that, bottomed out. So I had to regroup, take a minute, but I've been talking with my friend Rod here for a minute. He's been kicking my butt saying, hey, stop being distant. Let's talk. Let's get things planned out, get things going. So I'm like, yeah, we need to. And so we're finally here on the day. I announced yesterday that I was going to have a new and upcoming band on the podcast. And I'm really excited about this one. I've heard a song, and it's coming out soon, and it's a song. I love it. It's got some freaking power, and I'm really excited to talk about it. And while I'm failing at saying who you guys are, as I usually do on these freaking episodes, Break Signal, New Orleans, where they're from. Love the music coming out of that part of the country. Always some good rock and all kinds of music coming out from them, man. But glad you guys are here. How's your day been going?
Dude, thanks for having us, first of all.
Yeah.
My day is really just getting started, brother. How about you, Ryan?
I think Rod's just been slaving away at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my day's been pretty good. I'm just, taking my break right now and, been at work since about 6 a.m. So everything's been real good and really can't complain. It's been busy. It's right before Easter. So a lot of people are coming in the shop. So, I mean, you really can't be complaining about that, having a lot of business. So really happy with that. But, man, thank you so much for having us on. We get to talk about the band, really promote the song. I'm really glad that you enjoyed listening to it like a prequel.
Yes.
So anything that you want to talk about it, how you express, how you feel about it, we're good with it. We just wanted to let you know, thank you for having us.
Cool. Yeah, you're very welcome, man. I would do this like 100 times over. Anytime you ask me, and I will do it, and I'll try and do my best on my part to reach out as well. But I kind of want to open this sort of how it was laid out on our Facebook post and just kind of get some backstory with Break Signal and you and Blake and kind of how the project eventually started to take, some shape and have life to it. How far back did it go?
So the interesting part is Blake and I never met each other until we started playing in Paper Cut together. I think it was 2024, the end of 2024.
Yeah.
And we kind of fell into it together. I was delegated to reach out to him. Sean Morgan knew who Blake was because I think they played a couple festivals together. And he said, "Hey, look, this guy's great on guitar. Reach out to him and see if he wants to jam with us." So I had the song "Moments" and "Weight of the World" ready for Paper Cut, and we sent the songs out to him and said, "Hey, man, what do you think?" And he hit us back about a couple of days. He let us sweat a little bit before he reached back out, and
My usual go-to.
he said, "Dude, I really like the tunes." He said, "I think I can do something with this, and I look forward to meeting all of you guys, and let's get it going." So we did our first show together, never being in a room at all together, in December at the Whiskey A Go Go in 2024.
Mhm.
And that was the first time Sean Morgan, myself, Blake Suarez, Jody Linnell, and then we had their guy play drums. He wasn't a permanent member, but he was a last minute because we actually had Dan Johnson from the band Red, who was supposed to be playing drums for us because he was on the disc for Moments and Weight of the World. But some things happened with his schedule that couldn't commit to the show any longer. But he gave us, a couple of days
Best we could.
for us to find a new drummer, and look, we did. We went out there, left it all out on the table, and we walked out of there not with our heads down, but with our heads high, saying, "All right, we could probably do this." So that's how Blake and I first met. And we stayed in contact because we didn't live in the same areas. I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I was believed that he lived in Houston at the time, or was going back and forth from Houston to Louisiana. So we never really crossed paths, right? And then we really wound up getting really close, contacting each other daily, texting daily, just uh, being better friends, and starting to talk about music that we like, and just things of that nature, and kind of sparked a really close friendship.
And it actually
Oh
turns
yeah.
out that over the years, it turns out that we had similar people that we hung out with, but somehow we never crossed paths, right? So we started talking, hey, like, oh, I used to jam with this guy, and I was like, dude, I used to jam with that dude, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and then it turns
Small
out that we just
world.
never somehow met over the last 20 years or so, until about a year and a half ago. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. No, it is wild, man. It's crazy. I've had a couple of friends of mine that I met, just we've probably crossed each other, in town multiple times or whatever, and never even talked until, my current job where I'm at. There's a few people there that I've seen in town but never talked to, and they've seen me and it's like, I know your face. I've seen you out in town, and then eventually friendship starts and you find out that you got a lot in common, like minds and everything, and you just kind of really you bond, and you start thinking like, hey, I wonder if I can do something with this person, whether it's a music or just a hobby or something. So you need that chemistry, because everybody knows that you can't force the chemistry.
For
You
sure.
can, but most likely it's probably going to just kind of fall apart at some point if it's forced. And I say that because when I'm listening to Spiral Down, I hear through the speakers the chemistry and just the creative energy is just really alive in that song with you guys. And if you don't mind me bringing it up, I hear there's a certain character attached from a certain band with songs. And I correct me if I'm wrong. Was he part of Spiral Down, the one I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Clint Lowery?
Yeah.
So Clint Lowery was actually not a part of Spiral Down. He is
Oh,
co-producing some songs with us, and we do have 3 songs that are going to be reworked in my studio and done to the same level as Spiral Down. But as of right now, they're very good demos. They haven't made it to the final product yet for us to start recording and laying them down, but we're very happy with those new tunes with them. But Spiral Down was something that just came about with another producer that we're working with.
A different character from a different band.
yeah. I think you might have told me who, but I can't remember the name.
So Spiral Down is one that we got together with our friend Jonathan Norris of Kingdom Collapse.
Yeah. Oh, I love that band,
So
man.
he
That's a
was
great band.
involved in that song with Rod and I.
Yeah.
So we all
Well,
three
hell,
got
dude, he did
together,
a
and
fantastic job.
yeah, man, he
Well,
does a
I
killer
tell
job.
you what, man, it was kind of crazy. It's the same way we do it with Clint, right? So we do the Zoom calls. We talk about the songs. We go over parts. We go over lyrics. We go over melodies. It was a lot of the same process that we were already doing. And Blake and Jonathan have a really good rapport over the years because Blake
Mhm.
was in Kingdom Collapse for a short stint with them, playing bass and writing music with them. So they have a really good chemistry together as well. And bringing me into the mix, kind of got us vocally where we are there. And man, I tell you what, we can't be more happy with than the what the 3 of us came out with, because I tell you what, man, listening to that song for the first time, mixed and mastered, I was silent for at least 30 to 40 seconds before I played it again. Um, I was just
I get it.
I don't know if it was the best song we recorded in a while, or it was that good that I was like, damn, I need to hear that again.
Yeah, and it's one of the things, like, I
I
already
also
know the process. Right, that was Rod's
yeah.
first time seeing the process done over at John's studio, right? So he's like, "Oh, I got the first mix back." I'm like, "Just wait, brother. You have no idea. If you think that's good, just wait."
You're
And
for a
dude, we
treat.
finally got it, and I was excited to see how excited Rod was, because it had been a minute since he had really done something. and I'm glad that we found each other, dude, because we're on the process of doing some really killer stuff.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. I wanted to say about the song that it's a song that when I heard it the first time, I thought to myself, man, I cannot wait for this to like impact radio, get sent out and see where it climbs on, charts, whether it's local charts or see where it reaches, like what parts of the world and stuff, because I really truly believe that the song has that kind of energy and sound to it that it could really be something big with the right traction behind it, right? I think the feeling that Rod had after he heard it the first time is it's pretty similar to the feeling that I had, because I listened to it multiple times over when I was shown it, and I was just like, wow, for the length of this song, there's just so much there, and it says a lot in the time frame that it has. And let's just go ahead and dive into the subject matter. Actually, now that I'm bringing it up, some time ago, I was actually in a point in my life where I felt kind of in a funk, right? Felt stuck. And when I heard the song, I was listening to Rod's lyrics and what you guys wrote together. I was like, that sounds a lot like my headspace at a certain time last year that thankfully I got out of. And there's a death, in my circle of friends, so I felt a certain way for a good length of time. And the song, I feel like, is a song that people going through something like that need to hear. Feeling stuck in a cycle, battling, like voices in your head, either saying, quit while you're ahead, it won't work out, or and trying to determine the path you should take with it is what I got from that song. Just breaking the barrier down that's holding you in place. Another reason why I feel like it's a song that's really going to have a lot of force behind it to really move in the circuits. What do you guys have to say about that? Subject matter, your hopes for the song.
I'm gonna let Blake go first.
Go ahead, Rod. This one's your question.
All right. So for me, it was a lot of stuff that I was battling. I mean, Jonathan asked me. He said, "Dude, what's going on in your life right now?" He's like, "Look, tell me a little bit about how you're feeling. Like what's on your chest. So we kind of went through basically all the moot points that we were talking about. And all the lyrics came together over the internet, and going back and forth with different melodies and things, and kind of mapping it out. It just really felt like home. And I know a lot of people that when they listen to this, they're going to feel the same way, because it's not just subjected to one person. This is for everybody that's ever felt like they were in a spiral down. Anybody that felt like maybe there wasn't hope for them, but there is, because there's a resolve to this song. At the end of the song, it's it has that breakdown, but then it goes into
that breakdown.
spiral down. Like it's letting you know, like, this is not the end. It's the beginning of where you left off. Start fresh.
Yeah. And before Blake answers too, I want to ask you, Rod, how much of a release was it for you writing those lyrics and then singing them over the track?
Well, like I said, I never worked with Jonathan before. This was my first time, and he has a process, and his process was pretty grueling, vocally wise, and to be truthful with you, I wasn't really in the best shape, vocally, to do this song, because I had a sinus infection, I had a bad cough. After each take, I was going back and forth, spitting up, whatever was coming out, that sexy phlegm,
Oh,
but I kept getting the encouragement from Blake and John, and they were like, "Look, dude, you got this. Get it. Use your diaphragm, use your voice. Let's get after it." And they would give me the rock on cymbal when it was spot on, and they would look back and say, "Do it again." So it's not something that was done within 5-10 minutes. I mean, this was a 17-hour process. I mean, we spent a full day doing one song, and then the next day we did the next song. So I mean, we have another song coming out after this one that we done again with Jonathan on the same weekend. So we're excited about that one too. But this was the first one that was finished, and like I said, he's got that process down, and it gets done the way that it needs to, or it doesn't get on the track.
Mhm.
I mean, that's and if he's
No,
not
hear
happy
that.
with it, he's like, "You're going to keep doing it until it's
That's
Do it
done,"
right.
you
again.
know.
And
And
that's the
you
mark
know,
of a great producer. Yeah.
so like I said, I wasn't familiar with the process, and when I tell you I slept like a baby that night, I was out.
That boy put in some work.
But man,
Yeah, I hear it.
I had the encouragement of Blake and Jonathan, like wholeheartedly, even when they thought that I was where I felt winded, or I felt like I couldn't do the next step. Man, they
I hear
100% pushed forward and was like, dude, you got this. Just get it. You got it.
unicorn. I hear you, buddy. Sorry.
Unicorn.
You wanted to show me the unicorn.
Let's see
What's
it.
up, buddy?
But no, man, I hear what you're talking about, man. Your vocals in that song, they hit my heart, man. Like I've always told you how much I like your voice, and on that song, I feel like it's on another level. Despite what you're dealing with, getting that crap out of your lungs, just feeling the way you're feeling, you really delivered some great vocals in that track, man.
Man, thank you, brother. That means a lot. It really
You're
does.
taking some time, but things that need to take time to become a diamond from coal, just to put it in a manner of speaking, I guess.
I had a good encouragement, good camp, and
Yeah.
they made good melodies for us to lay down. So I mean, really, the group, the team itself, that we have a good circle.
Yeah. And hey, Blake, what about you, man? How you felt during the process of writing the Spiral Down, your guitar parts, and just everything that you were involved with.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the deal. The way the three of us worked is we all contributed lyrics, we all
Yeah.
contributed music. Like it was a full team effort, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had worked with Jonathan before and I played with him previously, so I kind of already knew the process. And for Rod, doing things a different way before, like it was a whole new thing for him to experience, which kind of cracked me up a little bit. But I was like, again, we were like, dude, you got this, brother. Like, we're going to kill it. But the meaning for the song obviously can be interpreted different for everyone, right?
Mhm.
But for me, it's like that day to day life. It's like freaking Groundhog's Day, right? You wake up,
Yeah.
it's like the same thing. It's like next day, same thing. And I'm like a nomad, man. So if I'm not moving, I'm bored out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? So that, and then just feeling stuck in general, whether it's work, whether it's a relationship, whether it's you name it. I mean, it's meant to be interpreted by whoever's going through their own thing in their head. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I enjoyed the process with Rod and with John, and I'm super stoked to get this song released very soon. And
26,
then
right?
the 26th, and then we also have. I'll just go ahead and say it: a lyric video and a music video to follow.
Yeah. I was actually going to get to those points eventually myself.
Jump the gun.
Yeah. No, it's all right, man. It's all good. I just want to say, Blake, your guitar parts in those songs, it get like, how you get that ugly face when you hear a riff in like metal, like breakdowns and stuff, and especially in the breakdown for Spiral Down, I'm just like, "Ugh, that's
Hell
nasty,"
yeah.
it's just like drums are just pounding, you're just hitting that riff, and it's just like everything about that part of the song is just such a chef's kiss.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw, but your bassist Mike popped in here to say hi.
What's
Uh,
up, Mikey?
What's
yeah.
up, Mikey?
I told him to get in here.
Mikey, I'll see you at the studio around 4, brother.
He's already at the studio.
Yeah, I told him I'd be there, and I didn't go through with my word.
So March 26th, I posted about when it's Spiral Down's coming out. You guys have posted about it. Besides having the song reach the people that you want it to reach, in a bigger picture look at it, what are some of your other hopes with Spiral Down?
Well, man, for me, I've never had a song that I've released, personally, that's gone over, maybe 1,200, streams or whatever.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that they weren't great songs. It just means that I didn't know how to market my own stuff as well as Blake does. And having Blake on the team and having him in the band and actually teaching me new aspects of the music business that I wasn't aware of, I think that we're going to do well with this song because he's got ideas that I never even thought of on how to market these songs. And there's different platforms to use and people to incorporate with on how we can get these out, right? So, just having him in the mix on it is just going to be, a different game changer for us.
What are some of your ideas with it, Blake, as far as the marketing side of it, if you want to dip into that a bit?
Well, every song is going to be different, right? So here's the deal with Spiral Down. As much as I would like to really, really push it to radio, I think as Break Signal, the most important thing right now is just to get a song out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let it organically go, do podcasts, do interviews, play shows, right? But the goal is to get it to the masses. And, these days you got to keep up with the youngsters, right? So you got TikToks, you got all the social media. I even do like download cards sometimes. So when we're at shows or if we're out mingling in general, hey, check this out. It's $1. I'll eat $1 sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's a new song for you. But it's really just like old school word of mouth. And then also with the new technology is just finding those avenues to figure out how to push each song individually.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it sounds like to me you're going to do anything at all that you could think of that has a possible benefit for Break Signal.
That's exactly right.
Themselves. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I guess the best you could hope for is that it people catch on to it, right? It reaches the people.
That's it. That's the main goal, man.
But so you mentioned a lyric video and a music video. Yeah. I believe there's been stills posted on the band page from that, right?
Oh yeah.
So it looks to me like it's gonna kind of be like a performative type music video. The band, in front of like some kind of backdrops, and you guys are doing your thing. What can you say overall about the elements for the music video and the lyric videos for what you're going to do with them?
Well, Rod, go ahead, because this was actually another great kind of, I don't want to say first experience, but a newer experience for you as well. So tell us how you felt about that whole process.
All right. So again, this was a first for me doing a real music video, right? So I had made a music video with my last band that I had called Parish Lines, and we did a music video for the song called The Letter, and I was with my buddy Ryan Tussell and Adam Korb. And we were in my buddy's backyard. We had a nice fire back there. We had acoustics around, and we did a song for The Letter, and it came out really cool. I thought it came out great. Well, I get to this endeavor with Blake, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna shoot a music video." I was like, "All right, cool." So I was expecting a couple cameras, a couple things like that. Brother, we get to a studio, okay? And when I say a studio, it's like it's huge, okay? There's these giant boom lifts with lights and cameras on them. There's like this big giant white wall. There's a 40 by 25, LED wall that they use.
Damn.
There's like different.
Not messing around.
They got different rooms in the back, right? So they've got like a props room for a bathroom. They got props room for a hospital room. They got a prop room for a living room. They got a prop room for a bedroom scene, dude. Like it's like a real studio. Like it was not joking around. So I'm thinking, all right, man, this is like the real deal. And I'm getting a little nervous because I'm like, oh shit. Well, then next thing you know, so the guy we worked with was called, his name's JT Alvarez.
Ibanez.
Very Ibanez. I'm sorry. Very, very well known in the industry for his performances for music videos, and he is dibbling and dabbling right now in recording bands and artists and things, which it sounds incredible. We heard a couple of things he's doing. So right now, I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm getting myself into because I'm really nervous. I mean, they got these expensive cameras, they got a photographer there, and then this nice lady walks in and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm so and so, and just letting you know I'm going to be doing y'all's makeup today."
Makeup? What?
I look over at Blake and I was like, "Dude, we're about to be pretty."
I was like,
not pretty.
So man, she touched us up and put a little stuff on us to make us look good for the camera. And man, it was a really cool experience from top to bottom. It made me feel like a movie star, man. It made me feel like
Yeah.
I was a part of something really special, you know. And when the process started, I mean, dude, it was work. It wasn't like all fun and games. You know, you didn't have a lot of time to joke around, because like when they tell you to do something, it's like,
It's
all right, I need you
business.
to do it, because you know time is of the essence. I had to catch a flight that day at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we got less than a whole day to
Wow.
knock the whole thing out and then still get Rod to the airport.
So, you know, we're doing the process and we're getting it going, and you know, we broke it down piece by piece. We did the intro, we did the middle of the song, we did the breakdown of the song. You know, we did other parts to where like we took the camera somewhere else in the studio and did some other parts, and somehow he meshed it all together perfectly in time, and we had this beautiful music video, man. It's amazing. Like I watched it the other night just to kind of like check it out again, and I'm still in awe that I get to play music with one of my best friends.
Well, dude, that's something that really matters right there. Just playing music with people that you love, you really connect with them, you have the same vision, and it feels right.
Brothers,
You know?
bitch.
But man, JT really captured something special for us, and I'm truly grateful. You know, very humbled. You know, I don't have a lot of things to say on it other than I'm just very grateful that we had the opportunity.
Yeah, and we're going to be working with him more in the future as well. Have you ever seen any of his work? Out of
You know,
curiosity?
I want to say no, but I bet you I have, because I listen to a lot of bands.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that I have and not realized it.
Just to name like two real quick, he's done some Atreyu music videos.
Okay, then yeah.
And he's done POD video as well.
Then absolutely, I'm sure. Then yeah,
And many more beyond that. But
Alter
that's just real
Bridge.
quick.
really Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he's,
man, dude, he's out there, man, and his stuff is good. He has a flow to him. He basically told Blake, he said, "Look, man, you know, I'm not going to come in with a pre-notion on what this music video is going to be." He's like, "I do everything on the fly."
He's like, whatever sounds good to me is how it's going to be. And that's just how I operate. And I was like, rock and roll, brother, let's go. And the day of the shoot, I ended up driving. So it was up in St. Louis, by the way.
Yeah.
So I ended up just taking a little weekend road trip because, like I said, I like to roll that way. And Rod got a flight the morning of the video shoot, right? So I was like, all right, dude, like, I'm going to come pick you up from the airport, or if we're close enough, I'll Uber either way. And then let's get to the studio because we got this amount of time to knock it out. So he's fresh in from the plane. We're straight to the studio. Grab some breakfast real quick, right? Dude, we had about 5 hours and we knocked that whole thing out, and then had to get Rod back to the airport, and he's all in one day, brother.
Go, man! I would have been wiped out.
Yeah. I think
it was back to work the next day.
Between the studio to get the song completed and the music video, Rod was sleeping like a baby boy. He was worn out.
Man, so what are we looking at as far as like timeline? Do you guys want to say when we could expect to see the music video and the lyric video, or is that something you're going to keep under hat for the time being?
I'll tell you right now. So what we're going to do is release the single on the 26th.
Okay.
So everyone will hear Spiral Down. The very next day, we're dropping the lyric video.
Okay.
The very next day after that, we're competing in a battle of the bands to play potentially CPR Fest with if we were to win, it would be Stained, Sleep Theory, From Ashes to New, bands like that, right? So that's like 3 days straight. And then we're going to let the people listen to the song over the next 2 weeks. And then exactly 2 weeks later, give or take a day, we'll be dropping that video.
That's going to feel like a long wait for me.
I know, man.
But
you know what,
it's
dude?
ready. It's ready, and it's oh man, it's so good.
I might have to slide it to you in the DMs, brother. Ahead of time.
Yeah, slide it to him, man. Let him take a look at it.
I'm good with that. Good with that.
Yeah, no, I love that. So I'm pumped for that. You know, it sounds like this video is just something else. You know, sounds like this guy I love the go with the flow thing that you said, that he was basically saying, man, if it sounds good to me, we're going to do it that way, go with the flow, not really put any expectations, so to speak, with it, and see how it comes out. I think when there's too much pressure, things get a little bit locked up with the process. You get too in your head about it, how it might look. You want it to look good, obviously. You want it to look professional. If there's any kind of story or narrative to it, you want that to come across in the video, of course.
For sure.
But going with flow, that's how I would roll too. I'd want just a process that flows with not a whole lot of friction. I guess.
But you know what, man? They made it so easy to be happy and comfortable. Okay, like after we did a couple of takes, he was like, "Hey, man, let's take 5." So we go in the main room and we all sit down and we chat about what we just did, and then we have ideas for what the next part is. And he's like, "All right, cool, I'm ready. Y'all ready?" So we took a couple sips of water, went back in there, and did it all over again. And we did that a couple of times. We stopped, breaks for lunch for about 30 minutes, right? And then went back to it again. It was just such a smooth process that it was very overwhelming for me, just because it was a lot going on that I didn't understand. But after I thought about it, we left and I got home and I had a good night's sleep on it, and I was able to really reflect on my day. It was a damn good experience.
Yeah, he's got a great team over there too, man. It's like photographer, makeup artist. I mean, there's a whole team. You know what I mean? So it's
who is the art? His name was Steve, right?
Steven DeCrew.
Yeah.
And makeup artist is slipping my mind at the moment.
Well, she was amazing too.
She's awesome. She was super cool, just friendly, fun, and did what she needed to do, and it was awesome. Like the whole day, everybody there was just like a vibe. You know what I mean?
Sounds like the dream team.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It truly was, man. And look, music videos aren't cheap, right? But you get what you pay for. And when I tell you that we will be back to work with him again, that's not fluffing it. It's almost a necessity at this point, because we've already set the standard of what our music videos
exactly.
That was my next question too. So answers that.
Hell yeah,
pumped, guys. That, like I said, the song is amazing. I can't stress that enough to the people that are watching. If you haven't already been lucky enough to hear it in advance, just you wait, because if you're excited for the video, wait until you hear the song first, because it's definitely one that you need to hear. It's something else. I want to bring up CPR Fest really quick and kind of touch on that a bit. I want to get my info straight with it. In order to vote for you guys, so to speak, people have to go to the website, which I think is Biloxi. What's the website? Biloxi something?
The sanctuarybiloxi.com to buy the tickets, which are only $5 for 4 bands. Right. And then to vote, you would go to the sound228.com, click on the Battle of the Bands image,
banner.
Select Break Signal. It's a free vote. It costs you nothing but 30 seconds of your time.
I overlooked that detail. I need to get that in there and go start voting myself, because
yes, sir.
That's why I need to get straight, because I felt like I left something out.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, it's easy to pass it up, right? So look for that Battle of the Bands image or banner, click on that, and you're good to go.
All right, yeah, I'll get that out there and start the voting, man, for sure.
And just to let you know that you have to have a Gmail to vote. It doesn't let you do it with any other email account unless it's a Gmail,
just
right?
Strictly Gmail.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just an email, but good to know.
So, but get that vote in. Anybody that's listening out there, please vote for us, because we're really wanting an opportunity to show the world what we can do. I know that we're a new band, but we're not new to the music industry. And when I tell you that this upcoming show is going to be different for us, we've been practicing every weekend. We've been putting in a lot of work. Mike Yorks, our bass player from Mississippi, has been driving in every weekend to practice with us, and it's just getting tighter and tighter. And we're going to go out there and leave it all out.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't hear that, get out there and vote. Get these guys on that bill. They would be with Stain, like I said, from Ashes to New, and Sleep Theory, all great bands to get on and just show them what you're capable of as peers in the industry, So vote. That's how we make this happen for Break Signal. Next order of business. You guys mentioned in the post things that are in store, things that you have planned. Obviously there's the next single, there's more music. what other things that haven't been touched on already during this talk would you want to mention about uh, near future and then further out future, like some of the what to expect, I guess.
Well, I would say first and foremost, for those of you who are not following us on the socials, pretty much everything is at Break Signal or at Break Signal Music
Hmm.
between all the platforms. So A, we'd appreciate that. And then B, the goal is to put out as much music as possible. Now, I'm not talking about stacking it right on top of each other, but ideally at this point, maybe every 2 months, three at the most, that you'll be hearing a new single from Break Signal. And that's the plan, is just to keep it coming
That's a good
and
time frame. Yeah.
play the singles game. Eventually, once we have enough material, we'll put together a physical EP, and then we'll just keep on cranking them out. But we want to put 5 to 6 songs out a year minimum.
We have a
So,
question
are
about
you wanting to give out any of the titles yet, or no?
No.
no.
I'm done with
Firm
you,
no.
man.
But I
We
will
got
tell you, we've got about 3 or 4 songs that are pretty much done and ready, and we're ready to record 3 of them to get them on the same level as Spiral Down, and we can't wait for everybody to hear those two.
Yeah,
um,
and the next single's already essentially in the mixing process. Just to be clear on that.
yeah, and I'm excited for it. I want to get this question out there because I don't remember it being said, and if it was said, I forgot completely. But drummer 716 says, "Who's drumming?"
So for this show, we had to get somebody that we know from Houston. He's a touring musician.
Yep.
We had to get him due to just us not being able to get with everybody, because we do have a guy that we have on lockdown in New Orleans. His name is Brock Champagne, very good drummer. We love him dearly, but unfortunately, because of our work schedules, we haven't been able to get with him, and that's on us. That's on us. It's not anything to do with us not wanting him
Yeah.
there. It's we haven't had a chance to get him in the studio or get him in there to practice just because of our time constraints. Mikey's been coming in real late to play with us, so we haven't been able to do full band practice, but we've been having backing tracks for the drums. So we basically got a guy coming in from Houston to do the show. And once that's done, we're going to be focusing on getting our guy in the mix and getting him going.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and the drummer's name from Houston is it's Angel, and he's actually I've used him. He's a damn good drummer. He's young. He's a total badass. He's actually filled in a couple of shows for my other band, which is called Awaken the Giant. So that's how that process started with Angel. So
Hell yeah.
anytime he comes out, we take care of him and let him know how much we appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Um, Getting back to the music real quick, I wanted to kind of touch on. We've touched on Spiral Down and where Rod was coming from with the lyrics and the writing overall. Um, what other kind of things, whether they're outside factors or influences, have sort of had basically the lyrics for these songs happen? Like, what inspired them? Where did you pull from? Just overall.
It's literally comes from everyday like life, things that actually have happened to us. So whether it be a relationship, whether it be like spiral down, hey, you're feeling stuck and you gotta find a way out. For me and how I do things, everything lyrically comes from a personal experience, good or bad. What about you, Rod?
It's all the everydays. I mean, everything that we talk about in any of our songs, it all comes from real life.
Yeah.
It's not fictitious. It comes from a real place, and that's why it feels real. It's very organic. So when you listen to it, that's why it's relatable, because it's not some made up story. It's something that truly happened or something that we went through or felt through,
Yeah.
and that's why it's relatable.
Yeah, 100%. And just to touch on what Rod's point there about fictitious versus actual things that happened in your life. some people, believe it or not, can't tell the difference when they're listening to a song, whether something's a fabricated story just to have a narrative for something. Because, people can relate to those songs too that are like that, don't get me wrong there. But you always know when the music, the lyrics are from something that's very real, from the people involved with the song. You always know, you always will know, and they will always impact the listener the most in the most profound and deepest kind of way. And 100% to what Rod said is 100% the case with Spiral Down.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure. I think you
I
can hear the emotion in the
Yeah,
vocals itself.
yeah, for sure. And so talk, the songwriting process in general, we've been touching on that. Um, I kind of want to ask the question: how much do these songs, if you want to divulge this, vary from one another as far as like heaviness, maybe unexpected turns, things of that nature?
that's the easy part, man. Like every song has its own personality because of the way they're written and the way that they're sang and the way the melodies are. So they come to life when it's truly organic.
You know what, Rod? Explain without giving it away the style of the next single.
It's a lot heavier.
It's a heavier
So
song.
Sevendust meets uh, Parkway Drive. I don't know.
Oh,
Man, that's
we're not gonna talk about Parkway Drive.
Uh, yeah, okay. Stay
heaviness,
away
but
from
not
that one.
like
Stay away from that one.
not.
So
Yeah, I would
so
say
I would
more like
say go ahead.
I don't even know anymore, dude. Like
It's not
heavy in
even
the sense of
done.
like a
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin kind of
Okay.
riffs. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
It's
along
got
that style.
it's got elements of all of our favorite bands.
There you go. It's a good way to put it.
Okay.
And when you hear it and when you hear the lyrics and when you hear the melodies, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. Because Spiral Down is a really good song, but this one's really good too.
We're
Please
stoked about them all, man.
don't tease so much. I'm gonna go crazy.
Well, here's the deal, man. Like he said, every song, like we're not trying to duplicate anything, right? So
Mhm.
like there's gonna be elements for sure, but every song's just gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? So I can only speak for the first two right now. I know what's in the pipeline for the future that's in works right now, but yeah, between one and two, they're definitely different in their own ways. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah. Mike says it's heavy but melodic, is how he
That's
was.
accurate. Good call, Mikey.
That
Yeah.
is good, but the heavier parts they are heavy, and when the screams come in, they
Ooh.
are disgusting.
So Rod, you're doing those, right?
No, I'm not. It's Blake,
No?
It's his eye.
and
Okay
when I
then.
and when I tell you, dude, I don't scream. I don't scream at all. I actually sound terrible.
Well, maybe you think you sound terrible. I mean,
No, it's pretty bad. It's
We
like it's like if a lion had a kitten's voice.
oh, okay.
Dude, well, honestly, like we have everything in a way where
Right.
it'll fit the live show too, right? So there's certain parts even live. So I do like the backing vocals and like all the screaming and heavy vocals, right? So we have it in a way where live, if he needs like a one line break, so just to get a quick breath in, I take over for just a quick
Mhm.
second and then he jumps back in. But we A B some stuff like that, and it just works. You know what I mean for us.
And look, believe it or not, man, Blake's got a great singing voice too. A lot of people just think that he writes killer riffs, he screams in the background, but man, like his voice is top notch. Like when he sings a lot of these parts that I sung in practice, it was hard to differentiate if I sang it or he sang it.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And
Oh, I
then we
want to
both
hear.
are writing music together. We're writing lyrics. I mean, we literally, like you said, right? People don't know, like, they're like, oh, he just sings. No, he's a hell of a guitar player, too. He plays bass, right? Like, we all, and Mikey, too, we can all do every, like, guitar, bass, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when we get together, man, it's like people just kind of assume, right? Like, oh, well, Blake wrote this song or Rod wrote this one. It's like, nah, man, we do everything together, dude.
Everything has been 50-50 since day one that we got in Break Signal. It hasn't been a, hey, he did this, I did that. It's all together or nothing.
That's it.
That's good because there's way back in the day you had a lot of bands that like the singer. Oh, it's all the singer for the lyrics. It's all the singer for like the melodies. It's like he lays the groundwork. We just kind of fall in line, maybe say a little bit of something here or there about it, but mostly it's that lane. So no, that's good to hear that it's like an even contributor for all people involved. I like
Right.
hearing that.
But the
Yeah.
best thing about the whole process is we hold each other accountable. You
Good.
know, he'll basically tell me, so hey man, I like what you did there. He said, but let's try this. Or I'll go in and I'll say, hey man, I really love what you played there. Let's try this.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
at that point, we both know that we need something better to better the song. And it's not about egos anymore. It's about how can we get this song to be the best song that we can possibly make together.
Right. And that's the goal.
But you got to be willing to do that, right? You've got to be willing to go there and say, hey, look, I love what you were doing, but I really feel like maybe just to see how it comes out, try this here, see how that fits. And if that doesn't, we go back to what you're doing, tweak it or whatever. But, having the process be open like that is, I think, a very important thing when a song's in the process of being put together, you
Yeah.
know?
Look
Mike,
at my.
Mikey said that
Yeah.
you've been called the songbird of your generation.
That's why I was trying not to laugh this whole time. I was sitting there reading it.
The
Oh
songbird of his generation that occasionally becomes a screaming gorilla.
man. Dude, yeah.
So I think we've touched on this in ways during the conversation. I have one in here that is basically, what do you guys think Break Signal is doing that has a bit of distinction between Break Signal and, let's just say, call them your peers? What do you think Break Signal's doing overall, as whether it's like a single element to the band and the sound, or just
Well,
different things?
one thing I'll say that we do and we don't do is and this isn't anything good or bad. It's just facts of how we operate. We don't try to pigeonhole ourselves within the local music industry,
Mhm.
meaning, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to clarify that. I'm just saying, like a lot of people will work with the same kind of local people,
Yeah.
and it's like a thing, right? You got different regions. It happens all over the place. What we try to do and what we actually do is, we look for people who have done big things, right? And we want to work with these kinds of people. Like we want to get outside of this what's called the local box, right? Like that's why we went and worked with JT Ibanez on the video. We worked with our buddy Jonathan Norris on the actual song itself. And those are the kinds of people and things that we do to give us a direct distinction from everyone else in the area. You know what I mean? And we're going to continue working with bigger known names for sure.
And we had opportunity in the beginning because I had worked with Clint Lowery prior to being in Break Signal, right? So him and I had a pretty good rapport together, and I just asked him. I said, "Man, how do you feel about helping produce a couple songs with me?" And he said, "Absolutely, man." He goes, "I love what I do with you," and he goes, "I think that we can make some good stuff together." And that's kind of how it really started with Break Signal, was when we were doing our songs with Clint Lowery from Sevendust. And
Yep.
even though they haven't made it to the final production yet, we've got the 3 songs that we have. They're killer. They really are. And I can't wait to see what they're going to come out like at the end, because you don't want to get demoitis and have the song sound exactly like you demoed it. It's going to be big. It's going to be full. The vocals are going to be crisp, right? His screams are going to be solid and thick.
Oh, yeah.
So uh, it's just one of those things that we're working through the process, right? We've got these 2 songs that are done. We're working on his next, and then we've got 2 more that we're working on after. And look, we let him know every step of the way what we're doing. We text him the other day, say, look, we got a music video out, we got the song coming out, and we just keep him in the loop because look, as a producer for us, he's supposed to know.
Yep, and
Yeah.
we sent him Spiral Down, even though he wasn't someone who worked on that song with us. We're like, we got to get your feedback, brother. And he said, "What was it? Quote, like that is a straight banger."
No,
Quote
no joke.
unquote.
We were
No
like,
joke. And, and a guy like Clint, it's a genuine reaction and thought too. That's exactly how he feels, and
Yeah.
that's
Well, man, he's a hard worker.
yeah,
He doesn't take fluff. He wants the work to be put in. And he taught me in the last 3 years that we've worked together that dedication and hard work, but also you have to spend that time with your family too. I could sit in the studio all day long, but he has a process. There's a time limit. He goes, all right, our time is done for the day. Now I got to go do this with my family. And I've been doing that lately too,
Yep.
and I've been feeling better. I've been having a better outcome when I get back to the song when I go to work with it. So I'm learning different processes from different people that do this for a living, and it works.
yeah. No,
Yeah, for sure.
that could be a hard thing to balance. What you just said, the creative, side of you with the music and everything versus your personal life and your work life. That balance could be hard to
But
find.
but but think about this, Will. Think about it.
Yeah, yeah,
You have a home studio, right? You have unlimited amount of storage space, and you can copy, delete, paste, and redo it over again until you get it right. That's not how he operates. You play the song, you get the riffs, you set an hour and a half, and when that hour and a half is done, if it's not to where it needs to be, you start back tomorrow.
Yeah.
no, yeah. I guess
That's
you'd call that discipline.
No,
Yeah,
it's
man. We'll
taught
just
it's taught me that discipline because, man, I would tell you years ago, I would get home from work late, 11, 12
Yeah,
o'clock at night, go back into the studio, put my headphones on, turn the monitor speakers off because my kids are asleep. And dude, I'd be back there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning working on something and getting frustrated that I couldn't get where I needed to be with it, knowing what I wanted, but really what I needed was to get started, take a break, come back the next day, do it again, do the next part, take a break, do the next part. That might take a little longer, but you're going to be happier dad. You're going to be a happier person. You're going to be a happier workplace, and you're also going to be a happier musician. And that's really working for us.
yeah. I could attest to that. I try to do that in my own life to an extent, because I want to have that balance and discipline. I think you're 100% right. People do this if they try it, they're gonna feel better too. It kind of gives you, you know, a way to um I don't know where I'm going with this. My thoughts just kind of going out to the ether now, but I hear what you're saying. I guess is my point.
I feel
But
that
but
too,
man,
man.
all I can say is, you talked about what differentiates us
Yeah,
from the rest, being real, right? Making sure that we're the same people that we are on stage, that we are off stage. We make time for everybody that we can. We can't work with everybody because not everybody jives together. But
yeah,
you just have to make work with what you can, and who you work with really defines what you got going on. So, like when to Blake's point when he said that we branch out to people that are professionals, not because we don't think local people are great. There's a lot of great local musicians and great local producers that are great,
mhm,
but we want to put in the work just like they did and make sure that we're doing the right things because since we're funding these things ourselves, we don't have any room for error when it comes to spending, mismanaging money, right?
Right.
mhm.
So if I know that I'm putting money into myself, investing in ourselves, it's got to be right. This music video, we invested in ourselves, it had to be right. Our songs, we invested in ourselves, it had to be right. Because if it's wrong, that is a X amount of dollars expenditure that you lost because you can't get that money back. You don't get a return on it. If the song doesn't do well, that's well. I mean, that's you know. So
Yeah,
Like that one
so you
hurt.
have to make methodical moves, right? But you also have to make sure that these people that you're working with know that you're willing to put the work in. And I think that the rapports that we've made over the years with our small circle that we do have, they know that when we get ready to get in mode or writing mode, that it's the real deal, just like how they would do it. And we're very excited just to keep that momentum going and see what 2026 and 2027 brings for us because this is just scratching the surface.
That's right.
yeah, and that's something I love about having bands on that are. I mean, you guys have experience in the industry. I'm not saying you're newbies in that regard, right? But as far as being a new name on the circuit, right? Being able to talk to bands that are establishing themselves, getting going and stuff is something I really love hearing about. I guess it's kind of like um, kind of gets me feeling like a part of the beginnings, right? Obviously, Rod's a friend of mine. We met, year or more ago, and then now Blake and everything. Get to talk to you and everything. And just to Rod, something Rod said just a minute ago about being who you are on stage and off stage. People are seeing how Rod is now and how Blake is while we're talking too. Just being real is an element about not just bands, just people in general in life that is to be appreciated, because right now, let's just be honest, it's a pretty crazy world with a lot of, just crazy things and just people being kind of certain ways because of that,
Right.
But anyway, I digress from that. And is there anything else you guys want to touch on? Because I actually reached the end of my 12, 13 things I had written down here already. What else could you guys say with Break Signal before we get wrapped up?
So I got a couple more things. We've got some shows in the works for the rest of the year that we're trying to book. We're trying to get on to get some shows booked in locally. We like to do Mississippi. We like to do Alabama. We want to do Florida, but we also want to get to Texas too. And we're going to try and jump onto some tours that are going. It's just we're in talks with several different artists right now to try and get that going.
I hope that happens.
Yeah, thank you, man.
No, yeah, and hopefully, if it works out this way, there might be an Oregon date at some point.
That would be sick. Yeah,
it's hard. I'm not fortunate enough to where I could just get a plane ticket and just fly anywhere. You know what I mean? So usually for me, shows that I catch are usually Oregon in like Washington, like Ridgefield area. About as far as I usually go. So
okay.
But what else, Rob, besides the shows, or even you, Blake, if you've got something you want to mention for Break Signal?
Well, just to touch on the show portion is because we have a new name that not obviously people aren't familiar with at the moment. The goal is the shows like he mentioned, but doing like weekend runs, right? So regional, so to start building up this whole region and just hit it, jump on some tours, things of that nature. And then the goal is to just put out, like I said earlier, just as much music as we can. Because I think for Break Signal, that's what we feel is the most important thing to do, is just to get the music out there and start pushing some of the songs here and get them on radio and things of that nature.
Yeah,
because people know us individually, right? They know our other bands that we were in. They know the bands that Blake was in, and they know the kind of musicianships that we put out. But they've never heard Break Signal, so it's really hard to get that vote, that buy-in on something that you don't have music out. And the hope is the music that comes out, people do enjoy it the way that we enjoyed recording it. But it's not everybody's going to love what you do, but that's okay. Everyone has a right to their opinions, but we also love what we do, and we understand it too, because we don't like all types of music either. We're just as the next listener. So we just want our music out. We want to be heard, and the main thing is get as much music as we can out, and just get that done.
As much quality music out as possible.
Yeah, without obviously rushing it. Taking your time
that's why it's been taking so long. We formed this in November of 25, and it took January, February, March, to get us going. So actually it was September. It was September of 25. So it was the back half of 25 and the beginning of 26. And right now we're still in the beginning phase of 26, and we're just getting our first song out. But man, Blake and I really killed it the first couple of months that we were a band together by playing just acoustic shows. We played all over.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I've never seen those posts that you were posting up about those acoustic shows, little pictures and clips and stuff. Yeah.
And we needed that too, truthfully.
Yeah.
We did need it, man. We were feeling kind of like, are we doing this? Are we not doing this? And when we went out there and we got a good response, we're like, yeah, we need to be doing this.
And that really gave us that momentum boost that we really needed, because it's frustrating. It takes you have the intentions of getting this band up and running like ASAP, right? And then the months start dragging before you know there's another year gone. You're like, dude, are we doing this or are we not doing it, right? So we really needed those acoustic shows and the people who were there, you know, with the nice comments that we received that really took us like, okay, we really got to quit messing around here and we got to get after it even harder.
Yeah,
So,
I guess you'd call those basically signs, you know, signals that no pun intended there. That there's something here, right? You guys need to make this a real thing and get it out there. I could attest to that, you know, here in Spiral Down, like, yep, this is magic.
Man, thank you so much, dude. But yeah, we needed that spark and we got it, and I'm glad we did it. And now we're full force. You know.
Pawnee Butts, that's a funny name, says they sounded really good at the Baton Rouge November show.
Ah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
That was the one with 12 Stones.
Was it 12 Stones or Doze at St. Marie?
Or Doze at St. Marie. It could have been either way. We played acoustic, but it was either Doze at St. Marie or it was the 12 Stones and Voice of the Enemy show.
Yeah, man, really great music coming out, and we've got to really play with some good musicians, and we're looking to, you know, build the roster of everybody that we're playing with. I've got a mural on my studio wall now showing all the big shows that we've played and people that we've played with, just to kind of keep a memory of what we've been doing. And man, it just looks cool to sit back and say, damn, I love that. That was a great show. That was a great show.
Hell yeah. I mean, I can't say enough, man, how fun this talk's been. You know, I definitely really miss talking with Rod. You know, when we first talked long time back, you know, I felt that connection, you know, it's free flowing, you know, it's just nice conversation. This whole entire thing, and, you know, I first one back in a while is felt really good, you know. So I can't say again enough how excited I am for the future for Break Signal. Grateful, and, you know, thank you guys so much for letting me hear Spiral Down early. Again, you know how I feel about that song. It's a great song. It's going to do things for you guys for sure. I'm excited for the next batch of songs to come out, the next single especially.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to probably surprise me as far as maybe how heavy you're talking.
Man.
Yeah, I said you got the Weird video coming up. You got a music video coming out for Spiral Down. Lyricville and music video. CPR Fest Battle of the Bands, get on with Stain, which you're going to get that. I'm going to look into the future. You're there. Sorry.
Put it out there.
We're going to put it out into the ether. Yeah, we're going to get it. All right. I love it. I love it.
That's destiny.
I love the support, man. Look, that's the hope. We want to go out there and do good, but, you know, it's three criteria. It's how much are we posting online, you know, supporting CPR Fest 22, the Sound 228, the Sanctuary, right? It's about how many people are voting for us online, and then it's about the ticket sales. So, and well, not just ticket sales, but the performance, right? So there's three criteria that need to be met, and we want to try and hit all of those. So we need everyone's support. So if you haven't voted, please go vote. If you haven't bought your tickets for the Sanctuary, 4 killer local bands that are fighting for a spot for CPR Fest 22, and it's going to be tough because those are some great bands, and I can't wait to be on stage with them. So if you haven't voted, vote for us at Break Signal. Go buy your tickets for $5, which is a complete steal, and let's get out there and have a good time.
Hell yeah! Well, guys, any additional closing thoughts? All right.
What's up, ladies?
What?
We do that all day long, brother. Just so you
know. No. I'm fairly sure that the people have been watching already know where you guys are on social media and follow you guys. But Break Signal on Facebook. Break Signal, I believe, is on Instagram. I think is what it's on there as, if I'm not mistaken. I can't recall if you guys are on X or not. I don't think I've looked.
We did start a TikTok, so we need people to follow TikTok.
Okay.
So it's either Break Signal or Break
I need
Signal
to be added to it.
Yeah. Well, I got to add my boy. I just made it very recently.
So for the people that watch this later down the road, find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. And, please go vote for them to be on CPR Fest. You know, the Battle of the Bands is 28th, right?
Yeah.
On the 28th, yeah. Coming up soon.
28th.
Very, very, very very, very quickly coming up upon them. You guys are going to kill it. Again, thank you for coming on. This has been a great look at your band and what to expect. Eternally grateful for you guys. And you definitely have my support. Anything I can do within my power, I will do for sure. You just say what, and I will post. I will be an annoying mosquito in the ears and eyes of anybody I could reach.
Oh yeah. Well,
man,
thank you so much, man.
What you're doing right now is everything that we need, brother. Thank you so much for the support, man. Appreciate having us.
No problem. And
Don't
say the
forget to
word.
vote.
Say the word. Just come back on. We'll do this again.
Dude, we'll for sure do it again, brother.
All righty. Well, everybody, again, this has been Break Signal, New Orleans. And this is Liars Pacifist Podcast signing off.